So you've got a property listed on Airbnb, Vrbo, or maybe even both. That is amazing. Let's talk about something that is commonly overlooked with short-term rental properties, and that is insurance. I get it. That's not the exciting piece about owning a rental property, right? Nobody really wants to talk about insurance, but it is important for protecting your investment. So let's dive into it. I am Drew Kinney with the Kinney Insurance Agency, where we specialize in insuring both long-term rental properties and short-term rental properties. It's something we deal with every day at the office. As you might imagine, having an office in South Hero, Vermont on the lake, we have a ton of folks out there doing short-term rentals, but we also have people in our other locations that are renting out year-round to folks all the time. So it's something we specialize in, and we take a lot of pride in really understanding that marketplace. So first things first, let's check this box. I feel like we need to. If you have your Airbnb or Vrbo property on a homeowner's insurance policy, you want to talk to your agent like yesterday to make sure that your property still qualifies for that homeowner's insurance policy. The reason being is, for the most part, homeowners insurance policies are designed for people that are owner occupied. So that means you are living in the house. Now, there are plenty of folks out there that use Airbnb and Vrbo where they live in the house and they rent out a room or another structure. In most scenarios, that is totally fine, but it's still important to check in with your agent, all right? If you are renting out the entire home, though, you should not have this on a homeowner's insurance policy. And if you do, you're at risk of potentially having a claim getting denied, which is not a good scenario all around. So we've checked that box. Let's move into some of the differences between short-term rental property insurance policies and long-term rental insurance. Insurance for short-term rentals is designed to address the unique risk posed by frequent turnover of guest, right? That's the deal with short-term rentals. You have guests coming over the weekend or for a week, whatever it might be, and they're changing over, rapidly, right? It's a lot different than a long-term rental property where somebody is signing a lease and they're staying in the home, for an entire year for the most part, right? So there are some coverages and some unique exposures for that short-term rental property that you want to make sure that you have the right policy in place for to protect. Short-term rental policies often include more comprehensive coverage for property damage, theft, loss of income, where it's more likely to occur in that frequent turnover of guest scenario. Regular landlord insurance policies, on the other hand, are structured very simply, right? You've got some coverage in there for the main building, the home where that person is living in or staying. You got some coverage for liability, and you have lots of rent, loss of income coverage as well, right? It just doesn't have the coverages in place for short-term rental turnover that can potentially leave you exposed if you are having a long-term insurance policy in place and trying to do things like rent it on Airbnb. It's just not the same thing. You want to make sure you have the right policy in place, because here's the kicker. You don't want to have a potential claim get denied by the insurance company because you had the wrong policy. Choosing the right insurance policy for your short-term rental doesn't have to be hard. Thankfully, over the past couple of years, more and more companies are warming up to these risks, and there are a lot of local and regional companies that will happily write these. And one of the nice things with that is they really understand our marketplace, right? They understand the type of, renting that you're going to be doing, whether it's a ski season thing or a lake thing. They're starting to wrap their heads around a little more and provide more coverage, which is critical, right? So you want to make sure that you're working with a trusted independent advisor, because they have multiple options in the marketplace for short-term rentals. We have multiple ones that we work with in our agency, and depending on the scenario of the home and what it qualifies for, we can help you find one that has the most comprehensive coverage and the best pricing. So when it comes down to it, it doesn't have to be hard to insure your short-term rental. Just make sure that you are working with the right people who specialize in it. Folks like the Kinney Insurance Agency, where we work with short-term rentals all the time.